What's going on, people? It's an early morning rant. Today was the first day in a few weeks that I actually felt productive. That all of this stuff on these sheets, I've got all this stuff, right? That it's getting done. You know, it's starting to get done because a few weeks ago there was some interesting things that happened with all kinds of fuckery. Stuff was just getting messed up. I was just like, what the hell is going on? But what I did in the midst of the fuckery is I sat down, I created my goals. There were some days only got one thing freaking done. There was days I got everything. Like yesterday, everything went the way that it was supposed to. I got the goals done. I got the workout done. Everything was just like click, click, click. It was clicking hard. And I started to think. I woke up this morning about 4:30, and I was, going through emails, answering stuff. And I saw this one thing about me putting out too many products and it's confusing. Let's just keep it real. My shit's expensive. If this stuff was a buck or two, folks would be lined up around the corner to buy it. What I've learned in this business is it's not how much stuff costs. Whether it's the person who buys it will be affected, will be impacted, or will be infected for that person. It goes back to the person. Because here's the secret. Everyone's like, hey, how can I get your stuff? If you go to my channel and start watching videos from 2009, it's required an investment of your time, a big investment of your time, because there's literally 500 hours of content on this channel. You will figure out and you will be taught how to be successful. There's one video, how to find gold at garage sales. I've had several people watch that video and do the most important thing. It's more important than money. They took fucking action. There's one guy and his wife, they found the video in January and they really didn't start until the spring, and they made $14,000 extra just going to garage sales and buying gold. And people are like, it won't work, it won't work. Okay. Really shortly, someone bought some gold hoop earrings in 1970. They paid $5 or $6 for them. That's what's in their mind. Everyone is not the hustler that you are. That is why, you could go to a garage sale, or you can go to any of these places like Goodwill or whatever, buy some stuff for $1 and flip it for 50, flip it for 100, flip it for $200, because everyone is not a hustler. So these people bought these bamboo gold earrings or necklace, 5, 10, 15, $20 in the 70s and 80s, and they sell it to you for $20. In their mind, they're like, shh, I won. It was a win. I fucking won. And you're looking at it from your mind, which is why I'm about to really jump into this. I have a goal. Once again, all of this stuff, these sheets, there'll probably be 27 courses, ebooks, audiobooks, and stuff before the end of the year, or by December. That's what I'm really shooting for. And people are like, oh my God, that's too much stuff. It's too much. Okay, how did I get started? There are many people who criticize and critique me who've done no research whatsoever. I used to actually own a business in the real world, not the digital world like this one, but in the real world. And I owned a business where we got hundreds to thousands of items per week. What does that mean? I know how to sell a lot of shit. One of my friends, Danny, stack it deep, sell it cheap was one of his mantras. So people are kind of like, well, I got some, once again, I got some help for someone. It was like, hey, you should do this, you should niche this. And one of the things that separates me from many of the other internet guys, because I'm an internet guy, is most of them have never owned a physical business. They've never had to do a sales call. They've never had to go out there and talk to a customer. And they never had to ask someone for $500,000. They've never had to do this stuff, and they've built their businesses strictly online. And it's a wonderful thing. But when you do that, you miss out on other things. There's a lot of folks don't know 89% of all commerce is done offline because everyone wants this lifestyle I have. I totally get it, totally understand it because it's wonderful. I work from home. I do very well working from home. But before I got to this point 5 years ago, I spent 20 years out there in the real world, out there dealing with people, getting in my car, going to a job. So what's happening is people see the shiny object. I'm the shiny object, right? And they want the shiny object, but they don't want to go through the battlefield of life to get to the shiny object. They just want to leap over that and forget about it. Now, let's just be really unvarnished here. I have a ton of products and my premium stuff is expensive. That's the problem. It's not how much stuff it is because it works. And just to prove to you how people are, I did 30 days to $2,500 as a beta course, and it was free. All you had to do was show up every day to get the information. I got emails like, "Hey, could you change the time? Could you change your program to suit me? I can't make it at 3, and I understand it's free, but could you do it at 11? Could you do it at 12?" All of this stuff. And what you have to understand, because the course works really well, is it was an opportunity for you to be successful. And when opportunity comes knocking, you can't go, "Hey, it's 1:30 a.m. I know opportunity. I know you're here, but I need to get to sleep. I'm about to get this sandwich. That's how people are. Opportunity comes at the weirdest and strangest times. And it also really depends upon what's important to you. Because a guy can come to your door 1:30 in the morning with an amazing opportunity and you're going to be pissed. But if you're a dude and some chick with some big titties showed up at 1:30 knocking on your door, we're talking about she's going to fuck you, you would wake the fuck up. Because your priorities are, I'd rather get pussy than money. And I'm saying this for a reason. There's a lot of dudes today who would rather get pussy than money, who will actually, I got a friend who's a recruiter. He's trying to give away certain jobs. He's got this nice contract. Essentially, you just show up. If you're human, you're clean, you don't have a record, you're going to get the freaking job. He's having trouble getting people there because they're like, well, it's only $12.50 an hour, and and this essentially you don't have to have any experience. And people, he's like struggling here. He's like, hey, if you just, he called me. He was just like, is it me? Is it me? Am I missing something here? Essentially, many people are lazy as fuck. That's it. That's it. Lazy as fuck, and essentially talking to men, going with men. I've never seen such a lackluster group of men in my life as we have today. I've never seen any shit like this. Dudes do not want to work. Dudes are looking to be CEOs with a waiter's mentality. If you're a CEO, if you got a CEO mindset, that shit will be evident if you're a waiter, a garbage man, whatever, because you're going to walk a different way, you're going to talk a different way, you're going to be a different way. But there's these people who want to be the fucking CEO, yet you have a poverty mindset. You want to look good versus actually being good. And going back to the men, because this is something else that's starting to happen. This is going on my 5th year here on YouTube, online doing this. I'm getting a lot of dudes inboxing me with suggestions on what I should do to improve my business. Now, get ready to be fucking insulted. If you don't own a business, you have never owned a business, you are broke, you are poor, you're begging me for shit, and you're begging me to bring down my price of my products, I'm not fucking listening to you because you're a loser. I'm going to listen to my boy Frank, who pulls down a net of $1 million. If he says, hey, G, do this, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to listen to my girl Jill, who started a real estate company from fucking nothing. I remember when she was bankrupt. She's doing 8 figures in sales a year. I'm going to listen to Jill. Essentially, If you are begging me or you're trying to shine on my dick, I'm not going to listen to you because you're telling me who you are. And when a person shows you who they are, as Dennis Green says, you need to listen, because essentially the secret to success is fucking showing up day in and day out. Just show up, just show up, just show up, just show up. Just be there. Just come in and make that shit happen. Now, what is your success worth to you? I'm asked that question because I go back to when I was doing 30 days to 2,500 bucks for free. All you had to do was show up. I got excuses. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I had one guy who had a business. He already had a business, and he improved his revenues from 30,000 a month to 65,000 a month. He came on as a consulting client. Actually, I have a few people that did that, but the main guy kicked ass on a free course. Now, why did this person who had a business, well, actually these people who had businesses, recognize the value in my course, and many people who have jobs, who are broke, who can't pay their bills, who only put $5 to $10 gas in their vehicle because that's all the fuck they can afford, have a problem. Simply put, your success is not that important to you. It's not that important. It's not worth you not watching Scandal or some bullshit like that. Your success is not worth you getting up 2, 3, 4 hours early before you have to go to that soul draining job to work on your business before you go to, as one of my friends says, Mr. Charlie's business. Your success is not worth that to you, because action is the greatest truth there is. If what you say is that important, you would be doing what you need to do. You would get your ass up at 3 o'clock in the morning, work on your business for 2, 3, 4 hours, then go work your 8, 10, 12 hours at Mr. Charlie's job or Mr. Jordan's job or Miss Jill's job, whoever's fucking's job, because it's important to you. It's important to what's important to you is touched, measured, talked about, shown about. If your success isn't important to you, you're going to have some lackluster results because you're putting in lackluster effort. I've said this for years. One of the ways for you to capture or recapture a great deal of your time is to turn off television. Turn it off. Here's a test for you. Everyone wants the secret to success. I'm going to give you a secret. Turn the television off for a week. Don't watch Scandal. Don't watch Lost if that's still coming on. Whatever. Because essentially, you don't have to be there to watch that shit because of Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Most of that shit's on demand, so you can watch 3, 4, 5. Actually, I prefer to binge watch television when I do. Like House of Cards, I just watched season 2 the other weekend. The whole freaking season. Because I love that shit. So it was planned time off versus me showing up on their time, because I live a life of intent and design. So I'm used to doing shit my way, which goes back to why these products are coming out. Because like I said, I was knocked off my horse, knocked on my ass when that shit happened. And for a moment I was dead in the fucking water. But did I weep? Did I cry? No, it's like, okay, we got to come up with a better mechanism here. We got to come up with a better platform. We've got to do something because this shit's not going to work. So, and also the profanity. If me using the word fuck moves you to the point that you can't watch these videos, I have a very pleasant message for you. We're incongruent. See, it's not what you thought. You thought I was going to say something to you. No, I'm not even going to say that. People coming up, I don't even yell at them or scream at them. It's just we're incongruent. If those words bother you so much that you can't get the message, because once again, I have come to know this. I am not for everyone. This message isn't for everyone. My products are not for everyone, which kind of goes back to, it's like, it's just like, oh, you're trying to be everything to everyone. I was like, really? Me? Here's the core of what happens with the G-verse. How to make money, how to start a business, your mindset. That is what I've been talking about in some shape, fashion, or form since 2009. The message, the core message has never changed. But this is the problem. People are addicted to eBay and Amazon. I totally get it. I was there myself. I know the love. I know the love is 6 p.m. on the Sunday, and that item that you bought for $1 is at $80, and then in the last 30 seconds it goes up to $450. That's a freaking high. That's an addiction. Because that's seriously, when I got out of the storage auction business, it took me literally 3, almost 4 years to calm the fuck down. Because it's a high going out and getting something super cheap and reselling it and repeating that process. It's a high. It gets in your blood, and it's very hard to get out. So I totally understand why people are addicted or just really, really stuck on that stuff. But this is the thing. eBay, Amazon, other third-party platforms. Every time I turn around, I'm a member of several freaking groups. I see nothing but complaints, and the complaints for Amazon are starting to go up. I'm starting to see stuff. And once again, I love Amazon. I'm probably going to buy some shit off Amazon today. I totally love Amazon. But the problem is when you do not control the direction of the ship like you do with your own website. Actually, just to be honest with you, YouTube gives me an incredible amount of leeway. Do I own this platform? Nope. But I swear, they let me act like I do. I can pretty much do anything. Long as I don't kill a baby seal or talk about gay people, I can get away with anything. And that's the reality. Going back to my saying, don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Learn the fucking rules so you can win. Because essentially, when you get to that point and you understand how things really work, not how you want them to work, how they really work, you will become incredibly powerful. You'll be able to do things that you couldn't do before. You will be in a situation of enhancement of your life, because I just let some things go. Just let some things go. And speaking of the G-verse and the products, I've got 2 major products that are $15, and someone's gonna bitch about that. Oh, it's too much. Oh, it streams. Oh, there's so much debt. Oh, it's too much. Oh, it's too much. You're requiring more from me than I require from myself. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I'm still waiting on that big titty bitch to come at 1:30 a.m. I'll be awake for that. I mean, it's sad. It is really, really sad, because we live in an age of unbridled opportunity right now. A friend of mine who's actually in Hustle University, she put up something about black people in crime. And she was going on, and everyone's like, hey, society, racism makes people commit crime. And I'm just sitting there shaking my head. I grew up in abject poverty. When I was in the boarding house, I could have went another direction. I could have went that criminal direction. I was fucking that desperate, and I was at the brink of doing something really, really fucking stupid. Really, really fucking stupid. And I said, okay, what is your future worth this? And I pulled back and I did something else. Going back to what I was talking about with don't hate the player, don't hate the game, learn the rules so you can win. I studied the game and I learned the rules. And when you know the rules, you can exploit them. But when you don't know the rules, you can't exploit them. So essentially what I'm talking about is when you know the rules, you know where the line is. You can step across that sucker. You can dance on it. You can have lunch. You can do all kinds of stuff across the line because you know the rules, and you know when Mr. Charlie, Mr. Jill, Mr. Leroy, whoever is watching that line, when they go to lunch, when they take a break, when they go to sleep, you understand that they're not going to be watching that line all the time. So you can cross it, get what you need, come back, cross it, because you have learned the game. This is one of the things that will just startles me, because every day I wake up, I feel like I'm in the infancy of this stuff. I feel that I am functionally ignorant. Not ignorant, ignorant. Functionally ignorant is I know a lot, but there's so much more I need to learn. And that keeps me hungry, and that keeps me excited, which goes back to the avalanche of information that I'm putting out that's coming your way. If your success isn't that important to you, to the point that you're going to stop doing something so you can gain something, that's on you. That's your preoccupation. Because this is what happens to many people. People want to live the dream and chase the dream at the same time. You want to have the house, the car while you're chasing the dream, versus you might need to drive a hoopty for 4 or 5 years. There's a lot of talk about my vehicle. I have a BMW X5, a 4.8. And, before that, I had a 1994 BMW 525. I drove the wheels off that thing. Because, see, this is a hint. If you want to look successful, here's a little trick for you. Go out and get yourself a late model luxury car. I mean, you can go back to the freaking 90s. Do these two things. Put some seat covers over those cracked ass leather seats. Actually, only one seat that had cracked leather. Get a paint job at Mako for $400 or $500 and put some late model rims on it. You will look like a freaking $1 million for maybe 5 G's. You would look sophisticated. When you go to places, the valet is going to go, oh, this is so nice. This is so, and it's a fucking old ass car. You know what it is? Because you made it crispy and clean. You made it look presentable. It was all about the presentation. Yet you have people with brand new cars they won't fucking wash. Strange. But that's one way that you can look really successful and you'll be accepted. People will come up. I mean, people used to come up to me and just like, that's really nice. I like your kung fu. And I forever and ever. I mean, Thor just died one day, and I looked at what it was going to take to restore Thor, and I didn't want to do it. So Thor had to go to the BMW graveyard. That's what it is. And I replaced Thor, because when I had both of them, it was white Thor and black Thor, because I'm being racist and shit. And after white Thor died, then black Thor inherited everything. So yes, a black person can inherit a lot of shit from a white person. Yes, it can happen in the G-verse. And I am being facetious for a reason, because there are, going back to my friend who had this post with crime, people were beating her up. They was like, well, no, people were making excuses. I've said this 1,000,000 times. Are there people who are of color who are oppressed and put up in misfortunate legal circumstances? Yes. That is not 90% of the black people who are in this circumstance, because every time you listen to the news, it's like so-and-so has a record. So, I mean, it's like you are hanging with criminals, and then when you get caught up in some criminal shit, you mad? That's not racist. That's called a poor decision. It's called a poor-ass decision. And I see it. When you see something on television, go and look up everything. Look at like this Marissa Alexander thing in Florida where they're saying it's the same as Trayvon Martin. No, it's not. She actually left the scene, went to the garage, got a gun, came back and fired it. She left imminent danger and became imminent danger. And I am amazed at the number of people who have not lifted up the dress and looked under that situation and saw it for what it is. It's not the same. It's totally a 180-degree turn from what Zimmerman did to Martin. But people want to get on that, going back to what Stephen A. said with Mark Cuban. People want to go with systematic racism, but the thing is, it exists. It exists, but this is my problem with black people. When I was growing up, the things, having a business, getting all the education you can, was some shit that could have got, from my mother, from my grandmother, from my great-grandfather, and before them. There was a period of time doing those type of things was dangerous. It was dangerous. It's like, oh, you're too successful? Well, we're going to fucking kill you. That is over. There is no, we're going to kill you for being successful anymore. There's not. People are like, oh, yes, there. No, it's not. I fucking run a publishing company. I started in the basement. I sell books, ebooks, audiobooks, and courses. And I sell them around the world. So essentially, if you want to be successful, you can. If you're going to predicate your failure to thrive on the shit that happened before you were born, you're a fucking idiot. Well, the reason that I can't be successful is because, the racism that happened in the 50s is affecting me today. Yes, I was born in 1972, but don't really quote me on that. I see that shit all the time, and it's just like, going in. I wish people would put as much effort into building businesses, building institutions, as the effort goes into keeping the word nigger, a nigga alive. Well, there's a sign of endearment. It's a sign of it's fucking stupid. I don't think anyone should use either word in any way. But trying to tell some black people that is like you're pulling out their toenails, you're pulling out their fingernails, and they're gonna like, it's torture. You can't put a fence around language, people. What's going to happen is all these little white kids who are not racist and these little Asian kids who are not racist are going to want to use those words because you have made it cool. And then you're like, yeah, we can say it in our songs, but you shouldn't say it. You should respect the line. Just stupid. I mean, this is what we call stupid human tricks, just stupid. And then get mad when something you made cool is put out there, and then you want to pull it back in. I predicted this. I did a video on my other channel about this, about the little rapper, and she was talking about herself when she used it. And people just went, oh, God, she's so wrong. No, she's not racist. She's trying to be fucking cool because you idiots have made insults cool. I get to the point, I've got Sirius in my vehicle, and I'm flipping channels because it's like urban radio, hip hop, 87% of the lyrical content is that. 80, if not more. It's ridiculous. And this is from a guy who uses fuck quite a bit. I am an artist and I don't believe in censorship, but I do believe in common sense. And essentially, as she was going on in her forum and people were like, I mean, she was fighting hard. She's like a fighter because she was coming with uppercuts. She went out and got like her nunchuckers and she had like the pole and she was whooping ass. And they were still coming and they just started piling on her like in the Matrix where they just all piled on Neo and he had to like fly the fuck out of there. And it's just like, why are you clinging to mediocrity? Yes, shit was harsh. Yes, in many cases, shit is still harsh. But you have the option to create your own universe, to create your own business. Yet, I don't see that effort. Going back to dudes, there's like this lack of ambition in so many men that is crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know what it. Well, actually, I do. Actually, I do know what it is. And I'm going to piss off a whole bunch of people, but I don't give a fuck. Typically, I grew up as a product of a single parent household, except I had a very good, loving and strong grandmother there until I was 11. My grandmother made all the difference in the world. If it wasn't for her, I may have actually made way more poor choices than I did. So I had, it was, it looked like a single parent household, but actually it was a two-parent household until I was 11. There's certain distinctions that you have to make because I grew up in a neighborhood that was chock full of men. There were men everywhere. Most, I was atypical. Most of the guys in my neighborhood, most of the kids in my neighborhood were in houses with two-parent households. I was the anomaly. So I got to see that life up close and personal, hang around it for years and years. You have kids, especially men, who are not getting into that. None of that. In the nicer neighborhoods, well, some places they do, kids don't go out and mingle and play. So you have a lot of men who are given all this feminine energy. And you wonder why a lot of men are bitches now. It's environmental. If you hang around estrogen all your life, you're going to leak estrogen. And that's what a lot of dudes are. Because when I had the storage auction business and I was out trying to hire people, I mean, I just developed a ratio 10 to 1. I was going to probably interview 10 dudes before I hired that one, unless he was Mexican. And then it was like the first one that showed up. Hate me if you want to. That's why I went to my Latino brothers. People get pissed off. They can get mad. You're giving away American jobs. No, I was not giving away shit. Mexicans were fucking earning their right to work with me. I mean, that's just how it is. So essentially, if you are a man, and I want you to hear me, you can believe in all this equal rights bullshit if you want to. At the end of the day, biology is going to trump social engineering all day long. You hear it in the news, you see it, but ask any woman age 18 to 58 what she thinks about the vast majority of men that she's come across in her life, and it's not going to be good. And it's not going to be, oh, he wasn't too gentle enough. Oh, he wasn't understanding enough. The motherfucker didn't have any ambition. That's what it's going to be. He didn't have any ambition. He had no direction. He had no goal. He wanted me to follow him, but he didn't know where the fuck he was going. That's going to be the biggest complaint. It's not going to be any of this other soft stuff you're in. That's going to be the biggest fucking complaint. No ambition. No, you fucking go out and kill dragons. That's my name on Instagram. People are cracking up. Yes, I kill dragons. And essentially, we may be 50 to 80 years out from where biology catches up to social engineering. If ever. I don't know. I'm not into that, that line of study, but it may never happen. It may never freaking happen. But how much is your success worth to you? I mean, really, how much is your success worth to you? How much money do you feel that you can make based on how much you're willing to give up? Because success comes with a price. Success isn't just this cheap, easy to get thing. It's a very rugged pursuit, and it's a consistent pursuit. Because I'm going to give you some tools here. If you take an hour a day, 7 days a week, 1 hour, and dedicate that 1 hour to building your business, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 1 hour a day to building your business, 7 days a week. So we're talking about 28 to 31 hours per month. If you did this consistently for 6 months, you would change your life. I'm waiting for, the people to dispute that, because see, this is the thing. Success is not a marathon. I mean, success is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And this is what people want to do. They just, yeah, I'm there. Okay, what's next? Yeah, we're here. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's better? What's great? And it cracks me up, because if you did that an hour a day, every day, consistently working on your business, it's like, okay, I need to get customers. Well, first I need my service, then I need my product, then I need my customers, then I need to go sell it, then I need to collect money. If you took an hour a day and worked on your business every day, you change your life. So that's to debunk the whole thing that's you got to quit your job. Like, well, Glendon, I don't have the time that you have, Glendon. I mean, you living that lifestyle of design and fucking intent. Motherfucker, I got to go to work. I got the man. Mr. Charlie got his foot on my fucking neck. I go home and the wife bitching. 1 hour. You have not decided that your success is that important to you. That's pretty much it. It's not that important, because action is the greatest truth there is. Action. What you do is way more important than what you say, because you can go blah, 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 blah all day long. But if you can have one significant action point every day of your life, you can do more in a few years than most people do in all their lives. Because most people aren't active in their life. They're reactionary. Most people are not planners. And, going back to the comment about my products and too many choices, I do believe that to be true because of Barry Schwartz's paradox of choice. Barry Schwartz, paradox of choice. Google it. It's here on YouTube. It's a great TED Talk. However, once again, going back to what I said earlier in this hangout, I had a business where I sold a lot of shit. I have the skill sets to sell a lot of shit because I understand how you operate. Yes, you, fucking you, fucking you, and fucking you. Because, see, you over here, you're a cheap motherfucker. You over here, you're a name brand whore. You over here, you're a value buyer. You over here, if it makes sense, you're in. Okay? So there's these different aspects. Everyone doesn't buy the same. So you can have one product, but only one person is going to buy because it fits their buying philosophy. Yes, you have a buying philosophy. You have a way that you buy shit. Some of you have defined it. Most of it is organic, and you don't even know how you fucking operate because you're going, that's too expensive. What you're really saying is, I don't see the fucking value in that because I have a litmus test here. Okay, well, we're going to take 30 days to $2,500, which is $99 right now. $99, lifetime access, and as you go through the course, you'll make that back and more easily if you do the work. Let me say that again, if you do the work. The second cost to that is going to be your time. The third cost to that is going to be a level of consistency. The fourth cost to that is going to be action. Now, what I'm doing is explaining to you the true cost because it's not the money. Because there's some of you out there right now who's talking about that 99. I mean, man, that's just too expensive. You have $120, $200, $300 shoes on your feet right now that you will wear out. And once they're wore out, unless you have some fine leather shoes, and you can take them to the shoe shop and have them re-heeled. But if they are some kicks, some sneakers, once that heel rolls over, it's a wrap. It's done. Hey, there's an idea. Some cement that you can create in color to fix those rollover heels. I'm giving you shit. Kickstarter. Can you say Kickstarter? So essentially what I'm saying is when someone says that's too much, it's not the fiscal cost, it's the emotional and mental cost that they don't want to pay. Because $99 ain't shit. Actually, to be real, $299 for one course. If that course makes you $1,000 in a year, you're $700 ahead. That's a win from a business standpoint. That's incredible ROI. That's awesome. But many of you are looking for a $10 to $15, $20 course that's going to make you millions, which means you're stupid as fuck. One of my mentors told me if you go to a webinar or seminar, you buy a book and you pull one ideal out of that book that helps your business, it's a win. And that's how I have a very broad source of information that I read, digest, because every day I pick up new ideas. I have to actually create a process to handle the influx of information because it's like that ideal's good, that ideal's good. So what are we going to do? And that's why I took a few weeks to clean up my kitchen, as I was saying, and to work on a new direction, which pissed some people off because one thing I've learned here is that many people are pissed off that I left the storage auction business. They want me to be a storage auction guy, to tell storage auction stories, and just to talk about how to get over on those storage facility personnel. When I wrote that first book, I knew in my heart of hearts I was never going to get back in the storage auction business. I knew it. It kind of pained me to a degree because I loved it, but it's like, okay, going back to what did I just tell you about whether you're going to give for success and what you're not going to give for success. I had to let the storage auction business go to embrace the publishing business. I had to let something go that I really cared about, that I loved, to do something else that I didn't know how the fuck this shit was going to work out. Once again, I am not afraid to fail. Many of you are scared shitless of failing. Many of you are scared shitless of looking like a fool. So you play it safe. If I go to the museum, I go to the Hall of Fame of any event, sports, profession, there are no cowards on the wall. You don't get in the Hall of Fame or the museum or any of those things by being a fucking coward. You know, you go to Frank Lloyd Wright's house. The shit was different back then. Dude's been gone forever and people still know who he is. We do not build monuments to cowards. And to break it down even on a family level, the same thing happens with the family. Which uncle, which grandfather, which grandmother, aunt you remember the most? You remember the most successful one or the one that cussed a lot? That's who you remember the most, the one who had the biggest impact on you, the one that paid the most attention to you. You don't remember the rest of those motherfuckers. They're still family. But it's like, oh, Uncle Joe. Yeah, he used to like let me sip on his. You remember that motherfucker because in your eyes, he's a hero because he did shit that no one else would do. That's who you remember. That's who you edify. That's who you will tell your grandchildren about. Oh, my dad, yeah, he's all right. But Uncle Joe was a motherfucker. Let me tell you about Uncle Joe. We do not build monuments. We do not memorialize the memories of cowards. We don't do it. So you got a choice here. How much is your success worth for you? How much are you willing to pay for your success? Today is very simple. Stop watching television, live on less money than you make, and work your ass off, and you can have an incredible life. Whether you're black, purple, blue, Boo Boo the cat, Jimmy the snake, whatever, you can do it. But stop making these excuses that you cannot be successful with your life because of all these other factors. We all get 24 hours. No one gets 26. No one gets 30. We all get 24. The difference between the people that we deem successful is they do different things with their 24 hours than you do. That's pretty much it. So if you are still here, if you're still in the G-verse and you like this, just go ahead and subscribe, hit that list, hit those little blocks to the side to edify and enhance your life. And understand, for you to be successful, there's going to be a price. And the question is, are you willing to pay that price? All right, this is Glendon. I'll see you on the good side.